Hello. So this is the next YouTube/podcast. And what I'm going to be going through today, it's just me on my own today. I'm going to be going through, in my opinion, as a man at the age between 25 to 40, what you should be focusing on to level up your life. And I've kind of split this into like four sections that I'm going to go through. So, section number one is your health. That is the most important. You want to focus on your health whilst you're young because you won't pay the price until later down the line. You won't feel nothing at 25, but what you do at 25 will have a domino effect onto when you may be 40 or even 50. And we don't think about these things when we're like 25 to 30. We maybe start thinking about them around about 30 years old, but I encourage you to start thinking about this a little bit younger and thinking more about your health. So you want to think about when it comes to your health, like, have you ever had a blood test and a full comprehensive blood test where you get your full blood count, your liver panel, your kidney panel, iron panel, thyroid panel, hormone panel, iron studies, lipid panel. So as you can see, there's a lot of different ways we can look at bloods. A lot of things we can test for, should I say. And that'll give us the big overall picture of your health, of your internal health at that given time, by the way. Yeah. And if you've never had one of these, I highly recommend you go and get one. I'd pay privately. Like if you're from the UK going through the NHS, you just won't be able, they won't give you the full comprehensive test unless like there's seriously something going on. So you're better off paying private, and a private health test, blood test, should I say, can cost anywhere between 180 to 250 plus pounds. The one that I advise is at Atlas Laboratories. So Holly, who runs Atlas, is I'm not associated with Atlas in any way, shape, or form, by the way. The company that I use and all our clients use, and I would get either the Ultimate Health Test, which is £230. That's the best one, in my opinion, that you could get. It'll give us a overview of everything. Or you can get like the female or male health test, which is like around about £180. So I would get one of them first of all, and I'd see what's going on with your internal health. I think Holly has an on-site doctor who will run through your bloods with you, which is always good as well. So you can get a professional opinion about your bloods, and I'd highly recommend doing that. But your health is wealth, yeah, as the saying goes. And if you are a younger male watching this, then you want to invest in your health and you want to learn more about your health. You want to be educated more about how to stay healthy. That's the most important thing. Like, if you invest in yourself being young when you've got money and you don't have children, you don't have a family, then it's going to pay dividends further down the line. But if you potentially don't invest in your health and then you spin your wheels and you get further and further out of shape and end up in ill health, then you're going to pay the price later down the line. So you're better off learning about these things young and investing in your own education and learning about them. If you're going to what between the 30 and 40 mark and you're listening to this and you've never had a blood test, then I would highly advise again that you invest in one. You want to see what's you want to give yourself an internal MOT, I always say. Yeah, if you're giving yourself an internal MOT, then you're going to be able to at least mitigate anything and prolong your life. So that's what everybody wants to do. They want to stay around for the children and the grandchildren, and they want to live as long as possible. And it comes to a point where that's the one thing that you want to do, that you do want to live around as long as possible. I mean, I've not had children yet. I will be having children in the future, but I've not had children yet. And I know for a fact that I want to stay around on this planet as long as possible. And there's going to come a point where I literally go all in on health. Like, don't get me wrong, I look after my health. I have a blood test every 12 to 16 weeks. And I look at my internal health, and I add supplementation, take foods out, include foods based around my internal health. I'm a type 2 diabetic as well, so I have to look more closely into my metabolic health so I don't go blind or I don't lose a limb, um, which is all under control. Yeah. So your health is the most important thing that you want to focus on, being 20, 25 to 40, without doubt. 40 plus also, yeah, but I want to spread awareness around looking after your health young rather than leaving it till it's not necessarily too late, but later down the line. So you want to book a blood test, you want to get that looked at by a professional, get their advice on them, and also start looking after your own physique. So your physique is the number two, right? And health and physique come hand in hand, in my opinion. Normally, an internally healthy individual will have lower levels of body fat and have a little bit higher levels of muscle tissue. Not always, but I'd say 8 times out of 10. So with your physique, you obviously want to focus on your nutrition, your training, your lifestyle, your weekends. Yeah. So obviously, your nutrition comes down to, are you eating whole, good quality, nutritious foods? Your training comes down to, are you training consistently on a consistent basis, and are you following a training program or a weight training program where you can consistently get stronger on? These are the main two things for me. Are you moving enough? Are you aiming for 8 to 12,000 steps a day? Are you getting your heart rate into the 130 to 150 zone 2-3 times per week? So are you looking after your cardiovascular system? With your lifestyle, are you looking after your weekends, and are they adding to your life rather than them taking away from your life and taking away time from your life? So I'm not saying that you can't enjoy yourself and go out and have a drink every now and then, and go out with your friends and go out for food. Of course you can. That's part of life, and that actually makes us healthy in an indirect way, because that can relieve stress, and that can also give us that little bit of freedom and relaxation, yeah, and pull stress down. But equally, doing it in excess will add stress to the body. So there's a fine line, a balance that we need between that. So with your physique, with your nutrition, are you eating good quality nutritious foods on a weekly basis? Are you having a wide range of different proteins, maybe 5 across the week? So maybe you could start eating some Greek yogurt, maybe some eggs, maybe some turkey or chicken breast, then some lean beef mince or some fillet steak, some whey protein. There's a lot of different proteins for you. Maybe some lean pork. All these type of foods are the proteins are the most nutrient dense proteins that we want to be getting in. Then fruit and vegetables. I always say you want to be eating 10 to 15 different fruit and vegetables across the week to build up your gut microbiome. We focus heavily on the gut in our coaching program. And we want to make sure you're digesting and absorbing food in the most efficient way. We want to make sure that you're passing a regular stool every day. If you look at the Bristol stool chart, are you passing a type 3 or 4 stool on a daily basis? Or is it type 1, type 2? So are you a bit more constipated? Or is it a type type 5, 6, or 7? And is it more loose? So have you got maybe some form of gut dysfunction? Or is it because you're eating too much processed foods or drinking too much alcohol? So these are all linked to your nutrition. So we want to make sure that your nutrition is good. It's good quality nutrition 90% of your week. Then with your training, you want to have 3 non-negotiable sessions per week. 3 non-negotiable weight training sessions. And then you want like maybe 1 30 to 60 minute cardiovascular session that's going to actually put your heart rate up. So you're going to train your cardiovascular system. You're actually going to train specific muscle tissue to aim to retain and build muscle. Because remember, when you get past 30, your testosterone can start naturally declining. If you don't look after your body, that is. And that's if you don't weight train. If you don't weight train and you don't eat good and you're over 30 and you come into 40, you seriously want to start weight training and looking after your nutrition, because your testosterone is going to start to decline. Then you'll start to lose muscle tissue. If you start to lose muscle tissue, then that's where you start to really go into like metabolic disease into your 50s, which we definitely don't want. There's a strong correlation with higher individuals with higher muscle tissue or older that have less all-cause mortality. So they literally survive longer. You can search that on the internet. So that's number 1 and 2. Number 1, your health. Number 2, your physique. Looking after your physique demands respect as well. Yeah, for yourself, but also from others. Then productivity. Productivity is another thing that you want to be focusing on. So your routine. Yeah, how productive you are through the day. Do you have a morning routine? Do you have an evening routine? Do you have a routine at work that you stick to? Which you probably do. Yeah, so you're more productive. So you get more done at work. So you're more likely to get a promotion at work. This is all to do with productivity. You want to thrive within your workplace. You want to become the top person at your workplace where your hard work is noticed. And you are building up your portfolio, so to speak, or your work portfolio, so you can end up getting some form of promotion or gain more experience, move to a higher paid job. In this day and age, we all want to look better, feel better, be healthier, and earn more money. And how we do that, first of all, in my opinion, comes from looking after yourself. If you start looking after yourself and you start prioritizing yourself and you start looking after your routine and you start eating better quality food so your brain functions better, you start training so your brain functions better, you start eating food so you have got higher energy, so you sleep better, so you're more productive. That's when these things start happening. So productivity is number 3. And it all starts with your routine. And your routine starts from meal prepping. Do you have to meal prep your food, prep your meals, in order to be organized, in order to be on the ball, so you end up losing body fat or building muscle tissue or even just feeling good and having higher energy throughout the day. So that all starts with your routine. When do you need to meal prep? So do you have a non-negotiable time that you have to meal prep throughout the week? That's what I want you to think about. Then from there, your morning routine. Do you get up and literally just chuck your clothes on, brush your teeth, don't even have time for breakfast and go straight to work? Worst routine in the world. A routine is one that you enjoy, first of all, and the one that you can stick to, but also makes you feel the best, right? So if you have to get up half an hour earlier, which means you have to go to bed half an hour earlier, which I would highly advise if that's the case. So then you can get up, brush your teeth, don't know why I have to keep saying that, get some breakfast, go for a little morning walk for 15 minutes so you get natural daylight in your eyes, so you actually reset your circadian rhythm, so you'll actually sleep better that night and you'll have more energy throughout the day. This is scientifically proven to happen. Then that'd be a better routine. I guarantee that you won't need that morning coffee, and you may only need one about 10, 11 in the morning, because I still have coffee, but I just don't have one straight away as I wake up. I have one maybe about 2-3 hours after I've woken up. Then the last one is relationships. So what you want to focus on is your relationship. So who you hang around with, who you choose to be your partner, and if your circle is going to grow with you. So think about the people you hang around with. Do they pull you down or do they bring you up? That's what I just want you to think about. And if they pull you down, I'm not saying ditch these people, but maybe you want to keep them at arm's length for a period of time. Focus on yourself, focus on your health, your physique, your productivity, and see whether they stick around, and only hang about with them every now and then, and see how your life is. See if you think different. Because if people bring you down and they're negative, and they bring you into a negative headspace, that eats away at anybody. You think of like fruit that goes off. You think of blueberries that go off. When they start going moldy, they start passing the mold to each other. The ones that touch are the ones where they pass mold to, don't they? And that's like what happens in toxic friend groups or a toxic relationship. If somebody's negative and constantly negative, then they're gonna instill that negativity into you, and you're gonna find yourself thinking more negative or getting pissed off that they're so negative all the time. So think about who you hang around with, and think about who you choose to be your partner. If you're single at the moment, you want a partner who's going to grow with you and who's going to not hold you back. They want the best for you. If your partner at the moment, you want them to do the same, and more than likely they will do if you communicate and you voice your concerns and voice everything to them. And that's what I'd advise. Communication is key within any relationship. Make sure you're a good communicator, because if you are, that'll pay dividends in your relationship. You'll be a heck of a lot happier. So, as a man between the age of 25 to 40, that's what I think you should be focusing on. That's in my opinion as a 31, nearly 32-year-old male. Where if you focus on your health and you focus on your physique, you focus on productivity and your relationships, you're going to level up your life, without doubt. And if you want to feel good, perform good throughout your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, these are what you should keep focusing on. And the top two are the most important. So I hope that helps. Drop a like if it did. Drop a comment if you've got any comments or questions. You can follow me on Instagram at Nathan_Transcend. And if you do have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram. But apart from that, have a good rest of your evening and we'll chat soon.